In the heart of East Africa during the turbulent years of independence and Cold War politics, there rose a man who would become both feared and infamous. His name was Idi Amin Dada. To some, he was once a soldier, a nationalist, even a hero. But to many more, he became a ruthless tyrant, a man whose rule left Uganda drenched in blood, chaos, and despair. This is the story of the rise and fall of Idi Amin, the so-called conqueror of the British Empire, a man whose appetite for power would eventually destroy him. Idi Amin's exit remains uncertain, but he was born around 1925 in Koboko, northwestern Uganda, into the Kakwa ethnic group. He grew up in poverty without formal education and worked as a cook and laborer, but his towering height, physical strength, and toughness drew attention. In 1946, Amin joined the King's African Rifles, a regiment of the British colonial army. There he became a skilled soldier rising through the ranks, fighting in British campaigns in Burma, Kenya, and Somalia. Yet, he was also known for his brutality, earning both fear and loyalty from his peers. By the time Uganda gained independence in 1962, Amin was already one of the most powerful military figures in the country. After independence, Uganda was led by Milton Obote, the nation's first prime minister and later president. Amin became Obote's ally and enforcer, climbing rapidly to become commander of the Ugandan army. But ambition soon clashed with loyalty. Obote feared Amin's growing influence. Corruption scandals, secret bank accounts, and tribal rivalries deepened mistrust. Then came January the 25th, 1971. While Obote was away attending a Commonwealth meeting in Singapore, Idi Amin staged a military coup. Tanks rolled into Kampala, radio stations were seized, and within hours, Amin declared himself president of Uganda. Crowds initially cheered. Many Ugandans were weary of Obote's rule and corruption. Amin promised to restore democracy, free political prisoners, and bring prosperity. But these promises would not last. At first, Amin cultivated an image as a man of the people. He appeared in markets, played football, and smiled for cameras. He charmed foreign journalists with humor and flamboyance. But behind the scenes, his rule descended into fear. Suspicion consumed him. Within months, Amin began purging the army of those loyal to Obote. Executions became common. By the mid-1970s, political killings, disappearances, and torture swept across Uganda. It is estimated that between 300,000 and 500,000 people were murdered during his rule. Amin relied heavily on ethnic loyalty, particularly soldiers from his own Kakwa, Nubian, and Sudanese backgrounds while targeting rivals, especially the Achole and Langi groups. Then came one of his most infamous acts. In 1972, Amin ordered the expulsion of 60,000 Asians, mostly of Indian descent, from Uganda. These communities had long dominated trade and business. Amin accused them of milking Uganda's economy and gave them 90 days to leave. Shops were abandoned, businesses collapsed, and the Ugandan economy spiraled into disaster. Factories stood idle, food shortages spread, and black markets flourished. Yet, Amin relished international attention. He gave himself grand titles, including His Excellency, President for Life, Field Marshal Al-Haji, Dr. Idi Amin Dada, VC, DSO, MC, Conqueror of the British Empire. He sent bizarre letters to world leaders, mocked Britain, and tried to position himself as a Pan-African leader. But his erratic behavior and brutality made him a global pariah. By the late 1970s, cracks in Amin's rule deepened. The economy was collapsing, the military was restless, and his enemies regrouped in exile. A fatal mistake came in 1978, when Amin invaded Tanzania, claiming parts of the Kagera region. But Tanzanian President Julius Nyerere struck back. With the help of Ugandan exiles, Tanzania launched a full-scale counterattack. By April 1979, Tanzanian forces and Ugandan rebels marched into Kampala. Idi Amin fled first to Libya, then to Saudi Arabia. He had ruled for only 8 years, but left behind a legacy of destruction. In Saudi Arabia, Amin lived a quiet life, sheltered by the government. He remained unrepentant, occasionally giving interviews where he claimed he had been misunderstood. But the world did not forget. His name became synonymous with tyranny and excess. In 2003, Idi Amin died in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, of kidney failure. He never faced trial for his crimes. Idi Amin's rise and fall is a cautionary tale of how power can corrupt absolutely. He began as a soldier, rose as a nationalist, but ended as one of Africa's most feared dictators. For Ugandans, his rule left scars that took decades to heal. For the world, he remains a chilling symbol of tyranny, paranoia, and brutality. And so, history remembers him not for greatness, but for the terror he unleashed and the lessons he left behind.